All right, and we're live here at the Pace Studio in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, with Matthew Mayfield.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
man.
Matthew, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Of course.
I guess it's technically afternoon now, but I think
Right.
we met a moment or two before the
I'm a
noon hour
vampire.
struck. Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah, we were just talking about two-sidedness. We'll get into that a little bit more, but congratulations to you first and foremost on Gunshy being out.
Thank you.
Back in March, that is out now in the world. So yeah, it's got to feel good to have that out there. And this is album number how many for you?
This is the fourth full length, and also I have 8 or 9 EPs. I've been at it for a long time.
Yeah.
Had a long story, and it's you've heard some of it, but it's not a glamorous one, but it's a good one in terms of 19 years old, started doing it full time, and got signed. Got dropped, got signed, got dropped. Went on my own, made a record in a basement in Birmingham, Alabama, where I'm from. And Grey's Anatomy called and said, we want to use your song. They found it on MySpace, 2008.
TBT.
And they said, we want to use your song for the 100th episode of the show. So, and then I was like, well, once I saw the check, I was like, well, I can actually make a living, keep the lights on now, I didn't think I could do it without my band, So, just been putting those pieces back together, slowly, one thing at a time.
Nice. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about kind of the duality between the solo life and the band life for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of placements that you've had over the years, which is very cool. I know that getting into the sync game is definitely good, lucrative.
Sure.
It is keeping a lot of people we love a lot doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and meeting folks like yourself keep me doing this. And with that being said, I'd love to hear about the first song. And I think you do a couple back to back, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
This is this was one that I actually did write for TV film, but then just like most songs that I do, they end up being about you. So this is the wolf in your darkest room, and then I'll go into a song called Quiet Lies. Let's see. I am the reason for you, and you can only breathe because I let you. Come to your senses and wake from your dream. I am the wolf in your darkest room, and I just wanna taste you on my teeth. Clawing at your neck to feed my needs. You thought you found my limit, but you don't seem to know. No, you don't seem to know how far I'd go. Somehow see inside me when I lay down, and you steal my dreams easily when you're around. Quiet lies. Whisper all the time. No more silent treatment. I am screaming in your ear. Starving, stopping nothing till I am inside you for good. Oh, for good. Lines blurred with time in that tree became our light, and you see nothing clearly, so headstrong, deny the feeling. Where all time. No more silent treatments. I am screaming in your ear. Starving, stopping nothing till I am inside you for good. Oh, for good. For good. Silent treatment. I am inside. I am inside. No more silent treatment. I am inside. I am inside. Inside. Yeah.
Very nice.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
It's fun, man. It's fun to play some of the old stuff and some of the new stuff. I feel like catalog has always been important to me, and I'm lucky to have a handful of fans that seem to appreciate that too. So I never feel like I have to play something just from one record, you know?
Right.
Which is fun.
Well, and that's a good segue into talking about me. Record to record and show to show even. We were talking about you kind of have a dual personality in a way. You are a rock and roller at heart all the way, fully 100% tried and true. Mm-hmm. But here you are without the backup, just out here sort of alone and I don't want to say vulnerable in a negative way, but in a good way. I mean, it's got to feel real different to, not when you got to let it rip. It's all you. And
there's nowhere to hide.
No, there's nowhere to hide. Yeah, and
no
like
drummer to look at. No, yeah,
no bass player to blame it on. Although you told me a great story a second ago about your bass player getting a crazy opportunity in a car.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Tony.
yeah. Tell me about. I mean, yeah, just
it's cool. He's my friend Tony Lucido. He's I hope he's watching. He probably isn't. He's a maniac, and I love him with all my heart. He's one of the best bass players I've ever heard. He's the most sought after one in Nashville, and he sent me a voice memo, and it was the producer that was producing Steven Tyler's solo record in Nashville, and he couldn't find a bass player. He just said, I don't like the vibe, don't like the vibe, don't like the vibe. So the producer was smart, turned his voice recorder on, put Tony's track on, and Steven was like, I gotta have that guy. That guy's, and he sent it to me, and I was like, it's fucking Steven Tyler, man, asking you to play on his record. I know it's not Aerosmith, but still, that's like, that's an unreal gig, you know?
It's totally unreal.
And he said Steven's the nicest guy to work with, super easy, obviously super pro and talented, but, you know, the fact that he's like, you know, sending me like texts from, you know, the session, it's like, man, you were truly doing something that's a dream come true for so many people. So, and he's the best, but that's part of my music. I call it musical bipolar disorder, you know, which is like, yeah, rock and roll to the bone in terms of, you know, I'm a Motorhead junkie, you know, I love Lemmy, I love Metallica, I love Guns N' Roses, I love Led Zeppelin, and it goes forever. And then I also love Neil Young, you know, I also love James Taylor and the Beatles, and, you know, just that too, it can be polarizing sometimes for certain fans, which doesn't bother me. You know, if you like me, you like me. It's still my voice, and it's still my style, and it's still me. You know, I don't separate the two in my brain. They just exist, and if I feel like playing one that's heavy, I'll do it. If I feel like playing something that you gotta whisper, I'll do it. So I'm lucky to be able to have the freedom to do whatever I need to.
Nice, and those are all things that live inside of you, and this is all you right now. And again, we really appreciate you bringing yourself and all that it is that makes up your form of expression, creativity, and otherwise to the studio here.
Of course, man. Thank you.
I'm having a great time so far. We've already had some great chats and more to come. You've got we're gonna hear a couple more songs. The one two we just heard are both off of the new record, correct?
Actually, those are it was sort of a mashup of two records. There's one called Recoil.
Okay.
The Wolf in Your Darkest Room is the first song, and then I mashed that into a song called Quiet Lies, which is off Wild Eyes record.
Gotcha.
And so it's just sort of a good warm up, but also gotta get you in the headspace to play some of these other ones, which I want to play a couple off the new record. It's called Gun Shy, and it's got the title track is a rocker, and then the second song is a love song, and the third song is a really, really dark. It's a brutal song for me to write, but it's real, you know. And I'm gonna play a couple if you guys don't mind.
Please do. I'd love to hear the new stuff. Sorry for getting that wrong, but
no.
No, so stoked to hear some stuff off Gunshot. Yeah, and again, congrats on that being out in the world. So
thank you so much. Cool. This is a song called Table for One. Oh no, let's do Broken Clocks. This is a song called Broken Clocks. Creeping down the interstate, silence on the road. A false sense of wisdom has taken its toll, and all we knew was wrong. And you misplaced the mystery, and we went up in flames. The truth turned to question marks, your bitterness to blame. All we knew is gone. Well, time ain't gonna make no difference. Time ain't gonna change a thing. 'Cause you broke the clock and you put it in a box and carried it too far away. Carried it so far away. The tragic state of loneliness, a ticking time bomb. The fuse is lit and my tongue is bit, but we won't be here long. 'Cause all we knew is gone. Time ain't gonna make difference. Well, time ain't gonna change a thing. 'Cause you broke the clock, then you put it in a box. You carried it so far away. You carried it so far away. Time ain't gonna make no difference. No, time ain't gonna change a thing. 'Cause you broke the clocks, then you put it in a box. Carried it so far away. You carried it so far away. You carried it so far away. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Heck yeah, nice.
I think Dave's got a little Jameson over there.
Oh yeah. Now's a good
Is
time
that legal
for that,
here?
For sure.
Legal for Facebook Live?
Oh, it's completely okay.
I like your style. Thank you, my friend. Here's to Pace for having me.
Thank you.
And for giving me a little JMO to warm things up.
Right on. Yeah. I hope you feel as warm and cozy as possible.
I do.
Here, and it is starting to get cold here in Atlanta, as far as Atlanta is concerned.
Sure.
I know I've been shocked a little bit. This is my first winter in the South, so I really got nothing to complain about here, being from the northern Midwest. But
sure, you get tired of sweating right when you get out of the shower, and then all of a sudden it's freezing cold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I welcome it though.
Yeah.
So music isn't the only. I mean, you've got some thoughts on sort of the the back rooms and the dark sides of some of the industry and stuff. I know you have some thoughts on Nashville, and I know you're involved in an organization called Love Is Louder
Yeah.
with Brittany Snow. I'd love to hear a little bit about what that resource is for, and why it started, and like the need that exists that this is trying to fill.
Sure. Well, it started with a song. I'm not gonna do it here because it's I don't want to blow it up for blow the voice up for the show tonight. But it's a song called Shame, and it's an acronym, and it's all capital letters, and I get asked that question all the time. It's first names of people that have, like, shamed me for, poor choices or just stuff that wasn't my fault that I wasn't even involved in. And I just think shaming people for anything is like the worst thing you could ever do, and the meanest and most unsupportive thing. It's not about campaigning for like enabling someone. It's more just like, hey man, I'm a human being. It's one of my favorite lines in a song was the Eddie Vedder lyric, "I'm lost, I'm no guide, but I'm by your side. I'm right by your side." And that's what we're trying to do with this. Brittany and I were together for a little bit. It didn't work out. I'm on the road a lot. She makes a lot of movies and TV shows, but she's a great person, huge heart, beautiful soul, and I wish her the best. I think she's getting married, which is awesome. And it's rare to have an ex that you can do that with and partner with for this kind of thing. So Love Is Louder is, anti-bullying is a big thing. And I meet a lot of kids at shows. And actually here in Atlanta, I met a kid named Brady, and he was with his mom, and he's a huge fan, and he gets bullied at school. And he and I talked forever. I was just he came in the green room and we chatted. I think he's 8, 9, but he looks older. He gets bullied because he doesn't like sports. He likes music. He's not the jock kid, the cool kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, we're all not the cool kid. Like, I was like, dude, you're in an age where, like, I understand that it feels that way, but Love Is Louder is, to me, with the Shame video that we did, we shot it all up 16 millimeter film. We had it colored by the same people that did 12 Years a Slave in New York City. I spent way too much money, and I don't have it. I just gambled, and it was a killer because we did a lot of it in Martin Luther King's actual cell from 1963 in Birmingham, which is where I'm from. During the Civil Rights War, where he wrote the letter, the letter, and it was really chill bumps, man. When you watch the video, Fred, my friend, he's the guy in the jail cell, and dude, I'm getting chill bumps talking about it, just because his performance was it's visceral, and you can feel that shame, and he's doing push-ups, looking at pictures of his family, and made one bad choice, or, there's a prostitute, there's got a PTSD, one of my best friends died of basically PTSD, undiagnosed, he went into depression, started drinking and drugging, and then he's one of my best friends, a guy named Jay, black fella, met him at a bar in Birmingham, and he was always there, sweetest dude in the world. And I just always tell him, man, like, don't feel that. I know that shame is something you got to get out, and if you want to do it at a bar, let's do it at a bar. But maybe you should see someone, And before I could get him to see anybody, he passed. So it's one of those. It's really close to my heart, but I think that cause is sort of a perfect thing for so many people. We all have shame. We just don't talk about it. Yeah, everybody's ashamed of something, whether it's something you did, something you are doing, something you feel, think, it could be anything. And I just was like, fuck, let's stop the taboo of this subject. Let's just say it, And I wanted to give people an opportunity. So if you go to my website, there's a side page or if you go to my Instagram, you can just, Matthew Mayfield, go to the link tree, and it's at the top, and it says share your shame. And it's all anonymous, and you can get it out. Release that. And that was what that song was for me, was to get that out of my system. Every time I sing it, I feel that way. And I think that a lot of people, there's been a huge response. A lot of people have been posting and saying, really heavy stuff. Like, I was raped and da-da-da-da. I mean, it's brutal, but it's cathartic, for them. I had to ask my management because I was like, I don't want to like post about this. I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to like promote this cause. It's the opposite. And they were like, no, like, these people are posting because they want to get it out. Yeah. So if you post repost what they put up, and obviously no names, that's what you're allowing them to see. Oh shit, I'm not alone. There's other people out here that feel just like me. They can message me, if they really want to, they can, tell you their name if they feel comfortable. It gives you options, and it gives you a place where you don't have to feel alone, even if you're in your basement. I call it the bottom of the feelings house, when you're in the cellar.
Yeah.
Like when I'm on the road, we kind of check in with each other and be like, hey, where are you at? Where are you at the feelings house? I'm like, dude, I'm by the cellar door. And, the other guys, but dude, I'm in the well at the bottom of Silence of the Lambs world, I'm like, well, okay, we need to reevaluate, boys. We're not doing great.
Yeah.
And then, you have a better show the next night and you're on the roof. So anyway, I sorry to ramble, but that's a huge passionate thing for me.
No, I that's not rambling at all. I really wanted to hear about that, and that is obviously truly important work. Yeah. We all have demons, either self-created or created by others, that we got to deal with. And I think the hardest thing for most people to do is just admit that having a proper forum to admit that stuff without feeling judged, or love is louder than shame, but only if you have a venue in which to get that shit out. So,
absolutely.
No, man, that's incredible work. And to anybody listening that needs that, hit it up.
Absolutely.
And anybody who doesn't feel like they need it, maybe make sure you're sitting in that spiritual living room before you.
There you go. Yeah.
Before they call that out, but
I've had a lot of people come up after shows, and tell me stuff. It's awesome. So if anybody out there is coming to any of the shows on this run, feel free to come up. I usually, take 5 after my gig, and then try to not be as sweaty, but I sweat like it's 40 degrees in the room, still covered in sweat.
Right.
But I towel off a little bit and go talk to people. So if anybody's coming to shows and you feel like you want to talk to somebody, once I'm done with merch and stuff, I'd be happy to chat outside the bar or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Just feel like you can have a place to feel, and even if it's just watching the video, because that in of itself, it'll teach you that you're not alone. I'm in it. I'm not much of an actor, but I didn't have to act. I was just there, and that I was feeling exactly what I was singing. Set a car on fire, with a pyro guy in the back and smoke bombs in the car, and he just said, hold your breath until you fall out of the car. And I was like, how long? He's like, as long as you can until you can't breathe. And it was amazing, because it was like a spiritual thing. I was in the song, playback was happening, I'm singing, and I fell out of the car, and it didn't feel like an act. There was no mark, he said, dude, do your thing, and we'll grab it. And the guys that did it, Sean Kirby and Grayson Welch, those dudes are unbelievably talented. And I'm the weakest link. And I wrote the song, but that's about it. They handled the rest. Killed it.
Right on. Well, I hope that was as cathartic for you as it is for everybody else. And
absolutely.
Thank you for doing this kind of work. It's very meaningful to me and to everybody else. I completely can relate to being a music nerd in a Midwest high school full of football fanatics and everything else that comes with that.
Sure.
Man.
Dude, I was right there. I was I was raised in Birmingham, Alabama, and I still live there. But I was a weirdo. I was a loner. I would sit Friday nights, with my electric guitars. I had a couple little shitty, fake Les Pauls, and I would just sit in there, lock myself in the room, and try to get my chops together, but also write songs. And didn't make a lot of friends, but at the same time, I wasn't bullied. I just felt alone.
Misfits, man. Completely relate.
Yeah.
Well, go check out that song, that video, and Love is Louder, the project itself, and support that. Take advantage of it, whatever fits your needs at the time, like that. Thank you again for doing that, and to Brittany as well.
Sure.
That's awesome. Let's hear, what do we got next? What's another song we're going to hear?
This one,
is another new one, right?
Yeah, it's another new one. It's just, I did this record with Paul Moak in Nashville, and he's one of my best friends. I would call him a brother. We've done 66 songs together over the years since 2009, and apparently I set the record for most Moak songs. But we're cut from the same cloth, and I told him the concept of the song, which is called Table for One, and it's a loneliness song. And I think anybody that's ever if you've been in an airport, which I was in LAX yesterday, and I'm in Atlanta right now. I haven't slept in like 3 days. I'm tired. I gotta sing today. So, but you go up to the bar or the restaurant, and they just give you that look, that like it's just kind of like just you, like just one, yes, it's just me, yes. And even outside of airports, I just have a lot of lonely times, and so I felt the need to. I was actually sitting in the middle of the night, and like it was like 3 a.m. or something at a Waffle House, and I was at a table for one, and this lyric started to happen, and so I paid a little bit of a tribute to some of my other lyrics from the back catalog and the chorus, but it just felt right, so we'll give it a whirl. This is Table for One. You seem to find it common in books. Someone's always dying, but no one wants to look. And upon further inspection, we find the truth. Yeah, I'm tired of hosting banquets for ghosts in the mirror. I'm tired of hearing voices that only I can hear. I'm tired of staring down the same old barrel of that gun. Yeah, I'm tired of this table for one. Yeah, lonely and honest but true. Glances at the menu in the family of two. In spite of introspection, she can't bake her cake. Yeah, she's tired of the whiskey and she's tired of the rum. She's tired of all the mystery in the place she comes from. She's tired of staring down the same old barrel of that gun. She's tired of that table for one. Yeah, she's tired of that goddamn table for one. Yeah, I'm tired of hosting banquets for ghosts in the mirror. And I'm tired of hearing voices that only I can hear. And I'm tired of staring down the same old barrel of that gun. Yeah, I'm tired of this table for one. Yeah, I'm tired of this table for one. I'm tired of this table for one. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Paste.
Yeah,
you
thank
guys are the
you.
best. This is so much fun, man. I appreciate y'all having me.
You wanna bend the rule and do a number 4?
I'd love to.
I think I know what it's gonna be.
I have an idea.
I'm happy if it's a surprise though too. Either way.
Yeah, you know, I mean, acoustic guitars. If people say you can't, I like the challenge because obviously electric guitar is my first love, but I'm a huge Guns fan, Guns N' Roses, and I've seen them 4 times on this tour when they're back together with it's Duff, Slash, and Axl, but
right.
And gotten the opportunity to meet him, and my old manager manages Duff, and it's just so cool to see. Well, you don't meet Axl, no one meets Axl, of course. He has his own side of the stadium, and then the rest of the band has their own side of the stadium.
Right.
They walk 2 separate ways. But it is interesting, though, to watch him come on. I was backstage, and I was at Titan Stadium in Nashville. And it was one of the most incredible things is to see, 90,000 people from that viewpoint where he is. And so he was standing for like 5-10 feet from me, and I was with Paul, who's also a huge Guns fan, Paul Moak, producer. And we're standing there, and we're just like looking at Axl Rose, and he's by himself. His security's not with him. He's in his world, like, and he's getting ready to run out. And I literally had to push my Moak back. I was like, no, like we have to, heads down, because he's the guy that might toss you, or he might come over and talk to you for a long time.
Right.
So I've been fascinated.
Now's not the time to find that out, though.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And I've always been fascinated with, egomaniacal people like that. I can't relate, and I think it's fascinating. I think the fact that he is notoriously such a dick at sometimes, and sometimes he's the most, like, the sweetest guy in the world. You can hear it in the songs. You can hear it in his childhood. I've read the books. I'm the nerd. But if you don't know this song, we got a problem.
We do have a problem. Right on. I can't wait.
So Paste Magazine, Paste everything. Welcome to the jungle. We'll try it. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want, honey. We know the name. We are the people that can find whatever you may need. If you got the money, honey, we got you to see. Jungle, welcome to the jungle. Watch it bring it to you. I know what you believe. Welcome to the jungle. Take it day by day. And if you want, you're gonna bleed, but that's the price you pay. And you're a very sexy girl. It's very hard to please. You can taste the bright light, but you won't get them for free. In the jungle, welcome to the jungle. Feel my serpentine. I wanna hear you scream. Can you check? Can you cheer? Yeah. Flash, I'm sorry, I'm blowing your solo, but I can't play it acoustic. Make it to the bridge, but let's, don't bore us. Get to the chorus. It's always been good advice for me, especially acoustic. Welcome to the jungle. Feel my serpentine jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Feel it. Knees down in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, baby. It's gonna bring you down. The imaginary drummer behind me. And then they count 8 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you very much.
Right on.
All right. Appreciate you.
Matthew, thank you so much for the hang, dude. It's been great. I might
you.
join you in that little tiny cup land.
Yeah, man, come on.
Thank you for coming through on Friday before the show. And yeah, dude.
Dude, happy to be here.
Great
man.
hang.
Yeah.
Yeah, come back and do this again, please.
I would love to. Thank
Right
you
on.
so much.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers.